Now it's time for more Chakotay's Odyssey, featuring the adventures of Janeway.
Okay.
Season 2, episode 24.
The last one?
No, it's 26 episodes.
Jeepers.
Okay. Tuvix. This is the episode that was recommended to us a long time ago.
With Neelix, Tuvok.
Yeah. Tuvok and Neelix end up merging into one being.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts off, you got Tuvok, and you got Neelix, and they're both down on a planet, and they're taking samples of vegetation.
Right.
Because they got to get food and supplies, right? Anyway, and they're both annoyed with each other.
Is this a transporter accident?
Yup. How'd you know?
How did I know?
Are they all transporter accidents in Star Trek?
Oh, yeah. Normally, sometimes you get two of yourself. That's the normal thing.
Well, in this one, the two of them try to beam back to the ship, and they get merged into one being. So there's a different actor that's playing this new being who names himself Tuvix, who has both the memories of both of them and the DNA of both of them. So it looks terrible what they did to this guy. They put him into the Neelix makeup.
Oh gosh.
And then they gave him Tuvok's haircut in the front.
Like one of those weird Klingons from Discovery.
And then in the back, he's got long strands of hair.
Oh, gosh.
It doesn't look good.
A little bit like Samuel L. Jackson in that, what was it called? That movie.
Jackie Brown?
Jackie Brown.
Anyway, it's a weird look. So they get merged together, I guess because Harry Kim was in charge of the transporter.
This is his first job. He doesn't know how to do everything yet.
Yes.
But somehow they give him giant responsibility. Like.
Yeah. So Harry Kim says that it's good, and it's like, okay, sure, beam him up. Oh, it doesn't go so well. Transporter accident, as you said.
Yes.
So he walks over to sickbay. So the doctor's there and has to check him out, and he's flabbergasted. Janeway shows up after we just saw her on the bridge there, and she's flabbergasted. She's like, "What is this? I've never seen I've never heard of this. There's never been a transporter accident before in the history of Starfleet, according to her. Okay, never been one of these transporter accidents.
Oh, really?
So." If you're saying if this happens in other series, like original Star Trek, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine...
We have two Boimlers, eh? There's like an evil Boimler and a regular Boimler. But I think Stargate Atlantis did it the best. That was really funny with Rodney.
Sure.
It was the best one. It was hilarious. He got merged with this woman that he always argues with. They became one person.
So the person who's really upset about this...
Yes.
...is Cass.
Okay.
She's very upset because of Neelix.
You gotta put Hess in every episode, so they gotta do something with her.
You know, Jennifer Lean, she didn't deserve this bad writing. I mean, it's mostly her and this Tuvix guy, because it's a guest star.
Their relationship is not well defined.
We never see them together, very rarely.
Doesn't make much sense.
But she's very upset by this and kind of wants to keep her distance from this guy.
Gross.
So this guy is now a third personality, so it's a third person. And they discovered that something about these plants they were collecting.
Oh.
It's like transmute symbiosis, some long word like that plants can merge together on a molecular level. And when they were transported, they were broken down to a molecular level. So that's how this happened, because of the plants they were carrying. I would
say it was just a digital error in the
That's okay, because Janeway sends both science expert B'Elanna and Paris in a shuttle back to the planet. We're not beaming anymore. We don't trust this now.
So they went.
So they go to a shuttle to collect samples and do tests. And so Harry Kim is working with the doctor to fix this mess.
Right.
They discover after a few days, they're like, we can't fix it. Okay. Set a course for the Alpha Quadrant.
Right.
Tuvix keeps trying to, have a relationship with Cass, and she just keeps getting freaked out all the time.
Gross.
Well, Because part
they
of
don't
them
show them have a relationship in any other
well,
episode.
part of him is Neelix, so
weird.
he still feels as if he's in love with with Kes.
But they don't even show that in any of these episodes. We're in like the end of season 2, and there's hardly anything about them. Anyway, that would make them more interesting.
So, and at one point, because this new Tuvix isn't working in the mess hall, the crew have to like make their own food in the mess hall.
Okay.
And
he doesn't know how to cook?
No, he does. And at one point he goes in because he's just been in this bad accident. So he has to break it up and kick everyone out of the kitchen. And then he goes cooking for everyone. And he makes food that's better.
Oh.
Okay. Then Neelix is cooking.
Tuvok.
Because he's got Tuvok's side who's like critiquing like, no, his food is too spicy. So he makes better food. All right.
Okay. I'll believe
so
it.
Anyway, so they just decide, okay, we're going back to the Alpha, same course for the Alpha Quadrant. We're not going to fix this guy. We're not wasting our time here. And then, what is it? I think it's Harry Kim. No, the doctor figures it out. The doctor contacts
a supercomputer.
The doctor annoys Harry Kim because he interrupts his clarinet practicing. Jeez.
Oh, I'm glad he interrupted
so
that.
we had to hear some more of that. And so they figure it out. Okay, we're going to beam the two of them out. Okay?
Right, that's what they do with all transporter accidents.
Yeah, they just beam the two. They just transport them and then put them both out. Anyway, they figure out a science way to do this, right?
Yeah.
So Kes is really happy. Everyone's really happy. But this new Tuvix is not happy because it's been weeks now.
The problem is they don't have Colin Meaney on the ship, right?
What do you need Colin Meaney for?
He would be able to figure that out right away.
Oh yeah, because good engineer. But the problem is now this Tuvix, he's his own personality. He doesn't want to die.
So they're going to put him in the holodeck?
So in the end, what? I'll put him in the holodeck. What? Kill him?
No, but they put people in the holodeck and then they can live their lives in there.
No, in the end. So this wacky, dumb episode suddenly becomes this choice where Janeway has to choose between letting Tuvix stay as the way he is, that he wants to, or go through this procedure and having both Neelix and Tuvok back.
Right.
But essentially then Tuvix would no longer exist.
It's like the tale of two Topas.
So it becomes this life and death ethical argument at the end. And in the end, she decides we're going to go through with it. And he freaks out. And on the bridge, and he's like, isn't anyone going to stand up for me? And he's throwing a temper tantrum. And everyone just sits there, saying nothing. Paris, Chakotay, all of them, they just sit there. They don't say anything. And then they get security to haul him off down to sickbay.
Again, if they had the chief, he could have the two entities separate and have him... they could have 3 of them if they had that chief there. But these guys don't know what they're doing. Again, they have no good science officer, right?
Anyway, it ends in kind of this weird moral ambiguity where...
So they murder Tuvix in the end.
Yeah, and Janeway has to do it because the doctor refuses to.
At least let him live in the holodeck, for God's sakes, people.
Anyway, it was a dumb episode, and then it became like this weird life and death ethical question, and... Yeah, murder, but to bring back 2 people that were in an accident. I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. So if you want to see some weird Voyager, this is definitely the episode. I understand now why this was recommended to us all those episodes ago, like after we watched the pilot.
On Lower Decks, they all go to this place like for people that have got all these weird mutations and everything. It's like a spa. Boimler does get another accident where he starts to glow, like he's phasing, and he has to go to this. Mm-hmm. That's where they showed us on Tuvix. See, that's what they do. And there was a guy that was aging, getting older, one half his body, getting younger in the other half his body, and all that kind of stuff. Because that's like it's a normal thing. Although Janeway didn't know that, but it is a normal thing.
Okay.
So they have a place for those people.
Well, that was another exciting episode of Chakotay's Odyssey featuring the adventures of Neelix.